It's still a beautiful Monday morning. Much obliged to have you join us on your ultimate news and current affairs program on television this morning on ITV with yours sincerely, Sonny Duke Okosun. Well, we kick off our conversation segment on the show by setting agenda for the upcoming Edo State governorship election. I mean, the fireworks is already on, and you just hope that ultimately it comes out in a way that lives are not lost. We have a seamless process. We have a peaceful, credible election that we'll be proud of ultimately. And let me just take you right away to Abuja, where the member House of Representatives representing Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast Federal Constituency, Barrister Sergius Osasuche Ogun, is waiting to link up with us to have a conversation on the program on his expectations on the 2020 Edo State governorship election. Barrister Sergius Ogun, many thanks for joining us on the program this morning on ITV. How are you doing today, and how are you coping with the lockdown on COVID-19?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Okay. The last time you spoke with us, you said you were of the opinion that there was really no need for the lockdown in the first place. What informed that position as far as the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown is concerned?
Yeah, well, because we, in this part of the world, we don't have the issues they have in China or in Europe or in America. When they had the cold season, they had winter. In China, about that time, they had the breakout. December in China, early part of the year is usually very cold. Same thing with the US and, of course, Europe. But here we were basking under the sun then. So people needed to go out and do their thing. That's one. And secondly, here we do a lot of self-medication. No matter what you say about it, that's how we survive here. I mean, if you have a headache, you walk down to not even a pharmaceutical shop, a chemist down the road, and get paracetamol, and you are going. Other times, people are taking natural herbs, like the dogoyaro, the neem tree, and other bits and bits, cocktail of herbs. People just, survive by doing this. So you have a lazy virus called corona, and because those in the West that would naturally die from a common flu are shutting down their economies, and we're just imitating them. So what we're doing basically was just copy and paste. That's what I was against. I thought it would have been an opportunity for us to shine, to have our own homegrown solution that the West will come and copy. So while they were locked down, we will be doing business. But I think it's a missed opportunity.
Okay, let's leave that for another day. But many thanks again for joining us. Quickly, the Edo State governorship election is around the corner. What are expectations, particularly beginning with the primaries? In your party, the PDP, some are of the opinion that a consensus arrangement or a no zoning arrangement was the thrust of the primaries. But some are of the opinion that, well, this position has been zoned to Edo South. What are your thoughts and what are your expectations?
Well, in the PDP, I don't think we agreed. There was a meeting in the former governor of Edo State House, His Excellency Lucky Nusakari Benedion, and there was agreed that we should jettison zoning for now and allow the best man win, allow anybody to come from any zone and win. But I think technically it was still zoned, because if at the end of the day, and this man emerged as the party chairman, I don't know how possible it is for this man to emerge again as a governorship candidate, or even the deputy to go to Esan. So technically, I think we have still zoned. But in any case, the reason for allowing any zone or any of the senatorial district to produce the candidate is to allow for a level playing field. So which for now is expedient.
Okay, just before we continue with this conversation, you need to try as much as possible to centralize your part so we can have a full picture of you. It's a little bit on one side. You're a little bit on one side of the screen. You need to be a bit centralized. I think that's more like you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, just try and centralize it. Centralize it so we can have a full picture of you, and then we can have, yes. Just try and make it a little bit more centralized so we can have a full picture of you. Yes. I think you're almost there. I think that's more like it. Yes, that's more like it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Are you satisfied with the seeming fireworks that is ongoing, particularly with the ruling party in the state? Is this something you will say is a gain for your party, or you expect something better than what is happening right now?
Well, we don't wish anybody evil, or we don't wish bad for anybody. I always prefer a free and fair election. I hope we can be matured enough, although we still call our democracy nascent. I would prefer a situation where you can have clean primaries in either party, come out for a clean contest, allow the people to come out, the electorate, and make their choice. So whatever is happening on the other side is not something I like, but if it's going to result in our victory at the elections, why not? Why not?
Okay, let's take a last point before we let you go. What you make of the seeming issues brewing up about talks that a former chairman of the party is breathing on the neck of the current executive of the party, talking about your party. And that's against the background that at the Congress that brought to the fore the current executive of the party, people like you and several others, is alleged, were not happy with the way the Congresses turned out. And as we speak today, there are speculations that the former chairman is still breathing heavily on the neck of the current executive, the state executive of the PDP, favoring a particular aspirant at the detriment of others. What's the position of this, and how true is this?
Well, there is never a perfect Congress. Whatever happened in the last Congress, we are, as a party, trying to resolve it. I'm not aware of any Congress that everybody will be happy, even the most matured or developed economies. I remember some years ago, even when Obama emerged, there were issues in the US. So today, whatever happened in the PDP during the Congress, I think is water under the bridge. Everybody's come together and we are working to have a successful primaries. Whatever they say about the chairman, well, I don't know. I participated in the Congress. Some people were not happy about the way our manner was put together and the outcome. But well, what I would say is let's come together, have a wonderful primary, and then put the APC out of government, and let's show Edo State people what we know how to do.
What are the chances of your party in the elections proper in view of what is happening in the state? Hello, Mr. Sergio. I was asking, what are your thoughts on the chances of your party in the elections proper? Can you still hear me? What are the chances of your party in the elections proper?
Well, I think this is the right time to take Edo State. If you remember, it was the issues we had in the PDP some years ago that led to AC coming in. AC, of course, metamorphosed into APC. I think the same thing is happening in the APC today, because if you ask me from the national elections, you still know clearly that Edo is PDP. So this is an opportunity to take back what rightfully belongs to us, and so that we can emancipate the people of Edo State.
All right, Mr. Sergio, thank you for your time with us on the program, TMI, and I hope that next time we'll call on you, you always oblige us as usual.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Sergius Ogun joining us live from Abuja on TMI, and then we come back to the studio where one of our guests has been here as well, just to deepen our conversations on the expectations on the Edo State governorship election. I'd like to thank very especially Comrade Ejo Wilson Umukoro, who is the coordinator, Defenders of Democracy Group. Comrade, many thanks for joining us on the program.
Yeah.
Okay, a whole lot is happening in the build up to the 2020 election. I'm sure you have a huge expectation that this election will come out free, fair, and credible. But before we get there, the most stunning part of it all is the primaries. And let's start off with the ruling party. What, in your opinion, has brought us to where we are today with the ruling party in the state?
What brought us to where we are in the ruling party is normally politics is a game of interest. And every politician wants to take advantage of the primary. There's a saying say that you can be an opposition in your own party. So it's within the primaries you are part and soul of the election. For example, if I'm supporting aspirant A and against aspirant B, and that's who I believe that you will win the party primary, who will be emerged as a candidate, and my aspirant lose in the primary, I will be a member of APC, but I'm going to be an opposition for the next 4 years. So every politician see primary another opportunity for them to realign into the system again, because it is more difficult for you to be opposition in your own party. So people who support other aspirants before the incumbent governor emerged as a party flag bearer, they are waiting for another 4 years when they are going to use that opportunity to support their own candidate or their own aspirants, enable them to be in power. 72 other people that are in the party, they are aggrieved. They felt that maybe the governor have not taken care of them, have not serviced them, they are not a part of his government. We said, no problem. Next primary, you shall see. So that is why all primaries election is an opportunity for every politicians to realign, to rewrite the wrong of the last election. So in the Edo State issue, which have lingered for almost a year plus now, is because people have, some persons believe that it's an opportunity for we to realign with our own aspirant. That is to say, some persons who are aggrieved see this as an opportunity for them to seize the moment and take advantage of the primaries.
Fantastic. With the sequence and series of events that have taken place so far, how will they shape up the primaries?
Well, the primary is a little bit dicey because the incumbent governor insists on indirect primary, and the national chairman insists on direct primary, because the national chairman or person of Comrade Adam Aliyu Shomole is an interested person in oncoming primaries. And the governor believed that, oh, you are a national chairman, you ought to be a father of the party. You shouldn't be an interested party in the primary. He's saying, I'm a politician, and I have interest to support anybody I want to support. Before I become a national chairman, I'm a man, I'm a family man, and I'm a politician before I become the party chairman. And I can also have interest to support whoever I want to support. The governor said, no, you don't support anybody. You are a father to everyone in the party. I think that is a tussle between the incumbent governor and the national chairman. I also believe that it's a case of godfathers, where the national chairman, Comrade Adamali or Shomole, want to play a role of a godfather. And I also believe that the reason why the governor is resisting him, they were both parcel of, they agreed, let's put the godfather out of business, let the people lead. And they all succeeded, which I believe that the governor, deputy governor, and all the SSG and other party leaders fought it, and they succeeded. And at the end of the day, he's now coming again to play the role of the godfather ahead of what we have agreed. And he now said, well, I'm not playing the role of a godfather. I always believe that in every political party, there must be a leader. And the governor said the governor is the leader of the party. The governor is the leader of the party. And the comrade governor comrade Adam Oshumole did not believe that you cannot be a leader of the party, that the governor is subject to the party. So it's a conflict, because in Nigeria politics, they believe that the president is the national leader of the party, yes, while the governor is the state leader of the party.
All right. Do you think that this has any implication for the party going forward? This crisis of who takes leadership, who takes what, who decides what, who dictates what, will have any impact on the party as it stands today?
Great impact. I believe that is a negative impact on the party. The Edo State APT is not, in case not taken, there may just be another case of Zamfara, another case of Bayelsa, another case of Rivers. Because for where the incumbent governor is, there's a gang up against him from the National Working Committee that he may not have his way. He may also lead the party to anarchy. So if APC in Edo State must go forward, they must come into consensus. All stakeholders must come to place. There must be a proper reconciliation before the primary. Whether those agree, those that want to contest, all the aspirants, all stakeholders, there must be a proper, thoroughly reconciliation. If not, I think the general election, APC might lose to opposition if there's no proper reconciliation.
Now, you talk about reconciliation. The governor seems to have made a head start with that by constituting a committee to reconcile the members of the Edo State House of Assembly, elects that have not been in the House for such a long time. Do you see this as something that is needed at this time, and do you see that as something that can have any change in the whole arrangement as it is currently?
That is a good one, because it's not too late to do what is right, even though almost be too late for that properly reconciliation. I think that the governor will have make that move before now, because we have few days to go before the primaries. Yes. But the good news is that it's a welcoming development for proper reconciliation. It's another thing for the honorable member to see that it's our party. Because before you are a party member, you must have a love for your party, no matter what, no matter the conflict, no matter disagreement. If you have your party interest, then there must be a reconciliation. Yeah. There's no crime, there's no sin that you cannot reconcile. Because things fall apart, the center cannot be whole. The house that divide against himself shall not stand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the good news is that if the governor make move for proper reconciliation, it's a welcoming development. I will also urge the honorable member to shift their sword.
Okay. If the governor has made reconciliatory move by constituting a committee to reconcile members of the State House of Assembly, and then on the other side, according to what some are saying, he has placed a ban on all political rallies on venues except the Samuel Ogbemundia Stadium, which must be duly approved. What do you see? What do you say about that? Is that also a reconciliatory move, in your opinion?
You know, when two people are fighting, use everything within your power to fight. That is just the truth. I remember when this present governor was a candidate of the APC, and Comrade Adam Oshumole was a governor then. He put a ban that all public school stadiums should not use. And I think Izeyamo have to use Baptist High School ground for his campaign. So if you are a governor, use whatever apparatus you have within your power
to fight the fight. Okay. Now, what people are saying that the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is also a member of the APC and is known to be the leader of the party, based on the new designation in our political system, has really not demonstrated some effort to tackle this issue. Is there anything that you think the president could have done to resolve this issue so far?
Yeah, I believe that the president, in most cases, from what I've seen, always wants to be neutral in things like this. The president, what you must also know, that the president is not seeking for re-election. So he's almost less concerned on the issue of the party. And the president only believes that the party should run itself. He always trying to avoid himself from the party issue. I think that the incumbent governor have met with the president, and the president has given his word that my support is for you. Okay. And one of the things that you must also know, that the president is not going to vote in Edo State, and if peradventure the ticket go the other way around, the governor did not get the ticket, the comrade will say, it is the people will. The people did not want him. I tried my best to rescue him, but people said it's not who we want. So it's a case of always on the people, on the party. They have a less way that they can influence the oncoming primary. I believe that the governor himself have a lot of work to do, and he's a better person that can really save himself. If the governor was really a thoroughly politician, he would have seen the party structure before now. Because the governor was not concerned about the party structure, he was concerned by the affairs of the state. Forgetting that it is the kitchen that prepared the food that we eat in the dining. He was always concerned about the dining, he was not concerned about the kitchen.
I like what you just said. It is the kitchen that prepares the food that you eat on the dining table, right?
Yeah.
So you must make effort to see how the food is prepared in the kitchen.
Yes.
And in this case, the political party is the kitchen.
Yes.
That's the point you're making.
Yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. Comrade Edo Wilson Ukoro sharing some thought with us on the program today, TMI. Now, quickly, let's look at the other side. The PDP seems to have been able to put its house in order in terms of how they are carrying themselves, how they are going so far. What are your thoughts on how they are going about this?
Well, PDP have no option is to unite themselves because they have been out of power in the state for too long, and they want to gain power by all means. And the only way they can gain power by all means is by uniting themselves together and conduct a proper primaries so that they can take over power from the ruling party in the state. So far, the PDP have done well. According to our constitution, it's being zoned to Edo State. The governorship ticket is zoned to Edo State, while the party chairman is being zoned to Central. So it's going to be the same status quo. The deputy governor is from the north, while the Edo State will produce the governor, while probably if they win, they may not have a speaker from the center. They have a fantastic arrangement, and they have a fantastic arrangement. But my only worry for the PDP is that how ready are they?
Fantastic. And just before you answer that question, is the feeling is among some of the aspirants is that there was no time that the party agreed that the governorship position would be zoned to the south. As a matter of fact, it was thrown open just the same way the chairmanship position was thrown open. Do you see that as something that is going to cause a crack within the PDP going into the primaries and then moving to the elections?
The issue of zoning in every party always causes conflict within the party members. Okay. So person from the Edo Central have bought their form, they have submitted, and the party allowed them. They didn't say, oh, it's zoned to the Edo Central, therefore you can't be part of it. It's zoned to the Edo State, so therefore you are coming part of it. They accept. Once you buy a form and the form is submitted, you must undergo screening. Yeah. Then after screening, you will now go for primaries, which the party members have to vote, either direct primary or indirect primary. And whoever wins, even though it's zoned to Edo State and from Edo Central is the one that wins the primary, the whole people in the party will rally around that person and campaign for that person. So everybody only believe that I want to test my popularity. Even though it's being zoned on zone, I still want to test my popularity. And to be fairness, the Edo Central are overdue, long overdue for power. And I've seen that the Edo Central have long overdue for power. But the only thing is that if the incumbent governor are able to succeed as a second tenure of this Edo community election, naturally power will gravitate towards the Edo Central. So the Edo Central are not taking advantage of the conflict within the APC to, okay, since the Edo South is fighting themselves with the Edo Central to take advantage. That is why the Edo South must see this as an opportunity for them to say, okay, oh, let's save our own. Let's save our own, because the governor have a major role to play in the oncoming election.
Thank you very much, Comrade Ejo Umukoro, for some of the useful insights you brought to bear on our conversations today on Edo 2020, setting agenda for party primaries. So on a final note, what are your expectations? INEC seems to be seriously concerned about the outcome of the primaries and the need for security agencies to watch out for what is happening. Do you express these same fears too?
Yes. There are a lot of fears in oncoming election because there are many stakeholders who have interest in oncoming election. There's a gang up against the governor, and the governor is using all his governorship force that is available with him to fight back. And you know that there's a saying that when two elephants are fighting, the ground will suffer. All this is to beef up the security in Edo State. Okay. Ordinarily before, if you have a genuine primary, a free and fair primary, it gives birth to free and fair election. So the primaries is always the base, the foundation of every election. Once the primary is free and fair, it is easier for general election to be free and fair, because the will of the people reflected in the primary to be easier for the general public will to be reflected in general election. So INEC is really concerned that we have this epidemic, COVID-19, and at the same time, there is this movement restriction, and the governor is saying that, you cannot use any public place for any political gathering. Yeah. It must be the stadium. Yeah. It's a tactic for the governor to say, oh, that means it must be indirect primary. It's the tactics, just the way the common governor, Comrade Adam Aliyu Shomole, is bringing that it should be direct primary, because if it's direct primary, anybody can have a party card. You can bring people from Labour Party, other party to become overnight a card carrying member of the APC. And you know that the governor don't have the right to issue the card. Yeah. The card must come from national. Yes. So if the card of the party is coming from the national, so you may differentiate the people of the governor who have interest to vote. Yeah. So automatically, the direct primary never favor the incumbent governor. It's only in direct primary favor the incumbent governor. That is why the governor is doing every other means to show that there cannot be a direct primary unless it's in direct primary. And the only way we can use is the stadium.
All right. Thank you very much, my good friend Wilson Ejo Umukoro. Thank you so much for coming on the program. I hope next time we invite you or oblige us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so TMI Monday, we'll take a short break. Just to let you know that we want to get our kids busy this period because of the pandemic. There is an induced holiday. I mean, some parents are complaining bitterly. One of the complaints is that, the children, they eat so much. You buy food stuff and buy stuff, and then you put at home, hoping that will last you for the next 1 month. By 2 weeks, you go to the store, the whole place is empty. All right, so parents are actually wishing this will be over so the kids can go back to school. But, well, there's no time exactly when they will go back to school. But on our part, we're thinking that we can get the children busy academically at home. So we're putting together an essay competition. It's also part of our strategy to educate our children about the COVID-19 pandemic. With the essay competition, they will need to do research to be able to put their thoughts together. And in doing those research to put their, doing those researches to put their thoughts together, they'll be able to gain more knowledge about the coronavirus pandemic. And that way, it will be a win-win situation for every one of us. So we asked the primary schools to do an essay on my COVID-19 holiday experience. You've been at home for the past 3 months or so. What has been your experiences? Share with us, and this shouldn't be more than 100 words for primary schools. And the application form is just 5,000 naira. You can come to Glass House here, you go to Oluku to pick the form. And then for secondary schools, what are the ways you can prevent the spread of COVID-19? Do an essay on it. It mustn't be more than 450 words, and the application form is 10,000 naira. You can also get a form at Glass House, or you come to Oluku to pick it. Remember, entries will close on the 26th of this month, and then we'll fix a date for the grand finale, most likely the first week of July. And then again, we have fantastic prizes we're putting together. The first prize is a laptop, second prize is a tab, and then the third prize is an Android phone. All of these gadgets will help to boost your capacity to do your research, to do your study, and become a better informed person, not just for COVID-19, but generally speaking. So hurry now and get your application form and be ready for the outcome of the scoring that will be greeted with your participation. I want to say big thanks to all those who are part of this event. It's the TMI Monday. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with you with our main dish for today on TMI. Barrister Evanta is in the studio. Barrister Daniel Ubegia is also in the studio. We'll continue with Edo 2020 conversation. Don't go away.